The game starts right here for the New England Patriots. Late March. Our first big signing, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Stefon Diggs, Chris Hogan. Give me your early take on what this means for the Patriots, for Drake Maye, and what this offense is going to look like moving forward.
Listen, I love it, right? All of what Stefon Diggs encompasses, like everything he brings to the table. He's got an ego, he's got some swag, he plays with passion, like aggressiveness. I mean, I think that there's a lot to there's the quarterback wide receiver relationship definitely is going to need some fine tuning, right? Because I don't know how Drake's going to respond to, he's a big personality, man, and he's very invested in the games and he's very emotional. And I think that's part of where he might need to, I don't want to say mature because I think he's a vet. He knows how to play the game. He's a pro. I just think that he's going to have to approach that maybe a little bit differently this year or with Drake and in games. But listen, man, that signing, regardless of what he is after his ACL, from what I've heard, he's above schedule. He's already running. That levels that room up, man. I mean, like big time. That kid, he's still got some juice in the tank. And if we know anything about him, I mean, he's a playmaker. He cares about, he loves the game. He wants to win. I mean, if you're Mike Vrabel and Elliott, I mean, these are all things that you're checking boxes for of guys that you want in that locker room that are not just coming here for a paycheck. They're not just coming here just to I don't know. I mean, you're coming into New England with a brand new head coach and a new, I mean, listen, Josh McDaniels has got to be happy. So I love it. I think it's great. I think it was I didn't really look over the contract, but it seems like to me it was a guaranteed upfront for a year and then kind of see how it plays out after that.
Yeah, it's 3 years specific to the contract. It's 3 years, 69 million, 26 million guaranteed. And it fundamentally, as you said, kind of works out to a 1 year deal. I was talking with Andrew Kramer, who covered him in Minnesota, and he said that you can get good Stefan and bad Stefan when it comes to interacting in the locker room and with the media, but there is no one, or there, I make sure I'll say this specifically here. There are few people who cares more about W's and L's
Yeah.
than Stefon Diggs. This is a guy who desperately wants to win. And I think that level of intensity, let's just call it that, will mesh well with what Mike Vrabel is trying to do in New England.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what we all have seen from him in the past. That's what we've seen from him on the sidelines in the games. I think that maybe it's a good situation for him. Maybe there's a situation where he's utilized more in a specific way, right? Josh can really put him in certain packages and really try to get him the ball in certain plays because he is a playmaker with the ball in his hands. He does do well. He catches the ball. He's got a big catch radius. He can catch the contested catch. He can go up and make the play. Again, it's like how does he fare off of coming off the ACL? We don't know. Like that, time will tell. But I think the adding him to the puzzle here is a good mix. I really think that Josh will be able to do a lot with just right now, right? With the guys that he has in the room. There's a lot of things that he can do. And also I think I've listened to Stefan, on a good day when he's after a win, right? Or just listening to him talk about football. It seems like he has a very good football IQ. So that also bodes well for going into a Josh McDaniels offense and learning formations and movements and pre-snap and all, and also teaching these young kids a little bit too, right? I think that's going to be part of his role. And I think my message to Stefan is like, listen, yeah, this team's got a young quarterback and a new head coach, but the guy's been around for a long time, knows how to win. Elliott's been around for a long time. Drake's a good quarterback. We're adding some pieces. You've seen what we've done on defense, right? We've stacked the cards on defense a little bit. So, like, hey, come in, be a leader of this offense, right? Come in and teach these young guys and level these guys up, raise their level of playing, right? That's what we've been missing, I think, on the offensive side of the ball, right? You always had Tom. And whoever, it didn't matter if you came into the onto the 11 onto you were the 11th guy in the playing field, like you were leveled up, man. Like no matter what, because you had that guy. So maybe Stefon is that guy, right? Guy that's been around, done the thing, he's won games. Kind of, everyone knows what he's done in the league. I think he's going to have to feel out the ego a little bit. It's like, but again, like some guy that's going to go right after Christian Gonzalez, like first day of training camp, like yeah, man, like Christian, you better let's go. Like he is coming after everyone. You already know that. That's how this guy rolls, and I think that's awesome for training camp and the off season because the level of competition just got leveled up. Another notch for sure.
Does he need to temper his expectations coming into this season, working with a young quarterback, joining a roster that's won 8 games combined in 2 years? Does he need to kind of throttle back just a little bit? Would that be in the best interest of this team? Or is the best interest of the Patriots, Diggs, is it in their collective best interest for him to really put the throttle down here and say, look, let's go win some football games?
I don't know. I think you can go one way or the other with it. I think for me, the time it's always now, right? I don't ever want to say we're playing for next year and we're rebuilding. Like, no, man, we've added veteran guys. We've put some added some pieces of the puzzle. Like if you're Mike Vrabel, like I'm not fucking waiting around until next year and next year's draft and all. We'll 2026. That'll be the year that we get the like. No way, man. If I'm in the meeting with Stefan, like no, dude, I want to win now. So yes, do I expect you to take on a leadership role and do I expect you to try to handle the ups and downs of what this year might be, right? Because it's always up and down. That's what the NFL is, man. I don't care what team you're on. There's always ups and downs. It's going to be a longer season. You're starting in April. You have a couple more weeks. You're going to be in training camp early. So like the season is already stretched out a little bit longer. You already like if you're Stefan, I mean, you're coming into this with the reality that yes, there is going to be ups and downs. We are going to lose games. There is no expectation right now outside of Foxborough for this team to go to the playoffs or to win the AFC. But like I want this kid pedal to the metal, man. Like I hope that his ACL and his knees and his body is feeling great. And like the second that he gets in the building, like I'm telling you to just foot on the gas. Like, let's go. No, all gas, no brakes. Like, let's go because I want to see what he can do for Drake. I want to see what Drake can do for him and this offense and what Josh can do with these guys. So I don't want any of this. Like, yes, is there going to be a learning curve? Sure. But like, that's what April's for. That's what OTAs are for, right? That's what this offseason is for. So after the offseason, get these guys together, man. Drake, get them all together wherever you are in the world. I don't care if it's in Foxborough, if it's in Foxborough, if it's in North Carolina, it's in North. Like I don't care. Get them all together. Get the whole damn team together. For what I'm saying. Like run your own OTA practice. Get Christian. Get all the defensive backs. That's what it's gonna take. Right. It's gonna take a collective 53 guys to do this. It's not just one. It's not Stefan. It's not Drake. This is going to take a team, right? I think that we're picking it where it's the defense did this, the offense did this, the special teams played well. Like no, man. Any single time I talk about those 3 years that I had in New England or any team that I've ever been on that I thought we had a very good team, it was always a collective 53 guys. And that's listen, you want to add coaching staff and all the personnel and all that included. That's what it's going to take. So I think for with the Stefan signing, it adds a layer to this offense. It adds a little bit more of a great. We got some guys that people got to worry about, right? People got to kind of game plan around. So that's exciting. I think that's exciting for Drake. I think if I'm Drake, I'm on the phone with him today. Like, hey man, like how you feeling? Can I come and throw with you? Or what's the off season look like? Really excited you're here. That sort of stuff. So I think the excitement level is kind of going up a little bit in Foxborough with everything that they're doing this offseason. I mean, Hey, we've had all these freaking millions of dollars to spend, and we've never done anything. And now all of a sudden, we're people are talking about the Patriots, right? And we got a fourth pick overall. So like, what are we going to do there? I mean, there's a lot going on, which is great. I think it's awesome. By no means am I saying, hey, this is a playoff team, but a lot can happen from now until the end of August to week one, and that that time period is going to be crucial for this team's development and how they are going to kind of go into the rest of this season.
You alluded to this, and I think it's going to be curious in that time period to see what sort of balance they strike with Diggs, because you not only have the challenge of a guy getting used to a new offense, but you also have a guy coming off an ACL. Now, we talked about the fact that he's apparently ahead of schedule, but how do you walk that fine line if you're a player and not try to do too much too fast? I kind of thought that, hey, there might be, when you look at the ACL timeline, there might be a stint on the pup list, at least at the start of training camp, as we
Sure.
sit here
Yeah.
right now. But 9 months would put him back on the field in August, which I
Yep.
think is a good, kind of a good idea in terms of whether or not he'll be ready in September.
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's really no rush for a guy like this. I think that you're going to accomplish so much more in the meeting rooms and even just on the field, right? Just doing walkthroughs or standing there and catching with Drake and doing some different things, whether he's walking through routes or top of routes. I think that Drake's got to maybe take a step and um, be involved in those things so that he's throwing with him. And so the first time that he doesn't, that Diggs is catching a pass from Drake is not in August. Um, but yeah, I don't see the rush, right? There's no point in doing that. I think for Stefon and for the coaching staff, for Josh and for Mike, it's let's progress him, let's get him on the field, let's get him out there. But also, there's really no point in pushing a guy that's a veteran guy that's been doing it, that is a pro that knows how to do this thing. Let him work with Josh, study the playbook, be in the film room, be in the meetings, be present in whatever walkthroughs we have going on with him. Maybe take some extra time with Stefon to kind of go over like, hey, Josh, listen, man, anytime that a piece is added to this puzzle for Josh, his head is already like the brain's going, right? Like he's game planning for week one already. Like I already know that he is. So he's going to add different formations, probably spend some extra time with Stefon, show him extra film, like, hey, this is how we're going to do this, X, Y, and Z. You could be here the motion. So I think that there's a lot that you can do off the field that will translate to him in August, right? I think that's part of being a professional, part of being a football player is preparing your body, right? And getting yourself ready to go. So, yes, definitely there has to be a rhyme and a reason why he's going to be out there. And I think, but listen, those guys, up in New England do a very good job in the training room and the training staff. And I think that Mike's been around for a long enough time and he's played and he knows how this stuff goes. And I think that they'll go about it the right way and not really push the timeline on this a little bit, kind of ease him into whatever you see how he's feeling and make sure that come August, though, like that's where you don't want setbacks, right? Like you want him come August. Like I say, pedal to the metal, but there's a lot that goes into that. Come August, you want it like pedal to the metal on the field, off the field, training room, weight room, like whatever it is, so that there's no holding him back anymore after that. And then it's, oh, is he healthy? Is he not healthy? Is he on the field? He's not. Like you don't want to play that game, especially with a guy like that. So give him the time, give him all the time in the world, but get him in the building, all right, and start that process.